very fortunate to get a conference win today, and man, just the ultimate respect for Coach Clonch, the UTSA program, and their players. Again, just the way they play the game. I mean, I really believe they're just a very, very good basketball team. They play the right way, so well coached, and they're extremely difficult to play against. Unfortunate that we were able to win here Sunday afternoon, and obviously led by RJ and other guys today. But very fortunate to win, and a lot of respect for their program.
How many mornings, Coach, do you just wake up and just say, thank God RJ Felton's a part of this program?
Oh, every day since we got here. And you know what? I feel like that about this team. I've said that so many times, how much I love this team. I love this team, and I've used the term, he's a heart and soul guy. He bleeds purple. We know that. He's a leader. On the court, off the court, in pressure moments. He's delivered. We were just talking about it as we walked over here. Some of the other games that have felt like this, whether it be at home or on the road, and he knows how much we love him. But you know what? He and I and this team, we know what we're chasing. And he's as hungry as anyone, and it's all about staying hungry right now. That's it.
RJ, obviously phenomenal night shooting the ball, but some of the guys, it seems like when they're shooting, all they want to do is score, and it seems like your attitude does not change with physicality on the ball, off the ball, going after rebounds. How great is it to have a phenomenal night all around?
I would say I came in the game thinking about defense first. Like, I wasn't thinking about scoring the ball or if I get a shot, those gonna come. The shot's gonna come. I would say coming in the game, even though we lost to Tulane, we were trying to build off that. We was coming in the game like a defensive mindset. And fortunately, I have a great game, and Coach gave me the confidence to shoot the three. He always gave me the green light. So I would say if they close out short, he already know I'm gonna shoot it.
Coach, speaking on the defense, just talk about Trevion and Jay Shane's defense down the stretch, whether it be defensive rebounding or steals at the jump balls. Just speak on that.
Well, what you just said is exactly what we talked about at halftime. We felt this game would come down to, you can use the general term defense. They are an extremely difficult team to guard. When they got Primo handling the ball the way he is, and they got Smurf handling the ball the way he handles the ball, and they're going and they shoot threes off the bounce, and Monsanto's keeping the floor spaced, and Horton is a dynamic player. Again, that's why I said that to start this. So we talked about defense and what we're trying to do and tightening up as best as possible, but we specifically talked about that we felt this game would come down to loose balls, rebounds, and hustle plays. Hustle play might be getting on the floor. Hustle play might be a block shot. And when I look at Jay Woodard with 3 or 4 blocks, and Trevion with 3 or 4 blocks, and RJ getting on the floor, and Jordan Riley getting on the floor, think about that possession towards the end of regulation where Jay got 2 or 3 loose balls. We thought the game would come down to that. Just from a momentum standpoint, we felt like, and whether that proved to be true or not, but that's what we talked about at halftime and every single timeout throughout the second half.
Coach, speaking of the conversations at halftime, felt like you guys were able to have a lot more success getting the ball inside in the second half. What did you feel like was different, or any adjustments?
Well, they went to zone some, and we just felt like we had to drive the ball. We felt like it. RJ was obviously shooting the ball well. Jan shot the ball. Trevi made a huge 3 early in the game, but that's not where we want to make our living, okay? This team, the game before us, they took 38 threes their last game versus South Florida and made 15 of them, 9 of them off the bounce. I mean, they are a prolific shooting team. We know we could shoot the ball efficiently based on shot quality, as RJ did tonight and other guys do, but we can't make a living going and shooting 35, 40 threes. We went and shot 30 threes versus Tulane, came back and looked at it and said, we got to get to the paint. And what makes it even more so today was that CJ didn't have one of his typical nights. So we were having a hard time getting it to the paint with him. But you know what? Jay drove the ball. Cam Hayes drove the ball. RJ drove the ball. Jordan Riley drove the ball. We had to drive the ball and play off balance in the paint. And I thought particularly the last 10 minutes in overtime, the whole second half, as you alluded to, but particularly the last 10 minutes in overtime, I thought the guys really did that. And then the free throw line was big for us.
RJ, as you're kind of going through the game, you talked about obviously you're willing to do whatever helps the team to win, but was there kind of a sense at some point in the first half, hey, I just got to keep shooting to put us in the best spot?
I would say once you get in, sometimes when you get in that rhythm, like when you have the hot hand, just keep shooting. That's what I felt right then and there. I saw one go in. Like me as becoming a shooter over the years, I would say once you see one go in, I'm gonna keep shooting.
Coach, you mentioned Cam a second ago, and he has really done a good job, I feel like, driving and creating shots for himself. When did you see that kind of, not that he was ever bad at it, but when did you see him take that next step?
No, you know what I think it is with Cam is Cam understands what it is as he's running the point right now. And you look at his assist to turnover ratio, and I think 2 games ago, maybe the Charlotte game, 8 assists, 1 turnover, I think it was, and even 5 assists last game versus Tulane. I think that balance, because Cam has natural scoreability. Doesn't mean it's in any one particular way, but when he plays with burst going to the basket, and he attacks the rim, whether it's in transition or in the mid-range, you know, it puts pressure on the defense. And we saw what it looks like when other teams do that. Brumbaugh did it to us versus, at Tulane. Millender and Spears did it to us tonight. When guards can get downhill and play, and whether it's create or kick, he's a fantastic passer. And I thought his aggressiveness tonight, just getting downhill, you know what? 8 for 8 free throws. I'm going to guess, and I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm going to guess that's more than half of his total free throw attempts in conference play. Half, in terms of 8, I bet you he hasn't taken 16 or 17 in break. And, I'd have to go confirm that. But that's big for us, him going to the free throw line. We want our PG and our guards at the free throw line, and he stepped up and did it.
Speaking of conference play, Coach, you have Tulane, Charlotte, and FAU left. What do you have to say to the fan base and the crowd here in Menchie's just closing out the season, trying to close it with?
We have, what I would say? We have 2 home games left. This team, if they tell us we got to play for 2 or 3 hours, 6, 7 overtimes, they have to peel us off the court till we get back in that locker room, until they tell you have to leave. So if they want to see team play like that, and here's what I'd say, they got 2 games left at home to see him. And I'd come and support him because he has put his heart and soul for Greenville and ECU. He loves this place, and he deserves it. C.J. Walker deserves it. Cam Hayes deserves it. And we got a chance to do something special here with 2 more home games. And you know what? But we're just taking it one day at a time. But it was electric when everyone got up on those last possessions. That stuff matters. It affects the other team. When the place gets like that on big possessions, maybe it's communication with each other. Maybe it's communication with their coach. Maybe it gets the shooter a little rattled. That stuff matters. And it would be sure great to see 8,000 in here for our last 2 games, to see him and to see these Pirates fight down a stretch.
To that point, with this win, this is 8 wins now in conference. It's the most ECU's had since joining the AAC. I know, you want 3 more, obviously, but what can you say? Do you kind of allow yourself a moment to step back and just appreciate how far the program's come?
We're hungry.
Players have earned it. We're hungry. The players have earned it. These guys have earned it. We're going to come. We just got to get better tomorrow. Whatever we do tomorrow, we're going to get better. There's a lot of season left. What we do, I said this, what happens in the past has no bearing on the future. What happened today has no bearing on. We just got to get better and give ourselves the best chance to be our best moving forward and stay hungry, as RJ just said.